Hello friends, in this video I'm going to show you multiple ways to identify the duplicates in the column C, which is a name. So let's decide with which method we can make the best optimum use in our day-to-day life. Okay, the first and foremost easiest way that identify a column, highlight the duplicates, that's what we are going to do it now. But going forward, we'll take it to the next step. So I'm going to highlight the column C and go to the conditional formatting base and press duplicates, click OK, or if you want to use it with the help of keyboard, then press Alt H L H D. Here we go, we have the information. Now, how to identify a duplicate out of this column C? Whichever the cell is highlighted in light pink, that means to say that is a duplicate which is repeated more than once. It could be like 100 times or just twice, or it could be thrice, or it could be any number, but it is repeated for more than once. So just to show you quick overview of how it is going to reflect, I'm going to filter the same name and see this person is repeated twice. Now I'm going to remove the filter. So you can remove the filter either clicking here and select all and then click OK, or you can press Alt A C, which is going to clear your filter. Now this could be, I feel that, first method, like, if you just want to highlight the duplicates, but if you don't and you don't want to do anything out of that, or you don't want to extract any information from that. Now the multiple ways which I usually follow depends on the scenarios. So the one is count if. I highlight the range. I'll take the complete column, which is starting from this column C1 till C10 lakh plus rows. So that is identified as C to C. And then comma, I take this name, which is Henry, and close the bracket. I just copy this information to the bottom of the cell, or press double tap at the corner so that every information is reflected until the last row, which is filled. So now you see it says that, this is repeated twice, but this is repeated once, and that's why this is not highlighted in a light pink. Now this is okay, but again, if I'm going to filter this information, you see now it says that, it repeated twice, but it is not ranking as okay, this is the first and this is the second. So what I'm going to do now to identify if it's repeated twice, agreed, but I want to rank this as 1 to 2. So I'll just use the same information, count if. Now I'm going to select a range. The range is something that says starts from the first cell until the last cell which is filled. So C2, and to go to the last cell I press Ctrl Shift down and then press comma. Again I need to mention C2. Same thing, I'm going to press double tap here. Now if you are going to copy this information, search it, you'll understand what is the difference between the column E and column F. You see, here we go, we have the ranking. Now okay, we did a duplicate, we did a ranking. Now I want to identify how to make use of this information. So for which I'm going to just embed one more formula here. So I'm very simple. If this is equal to this, then give me, or I'll just mention in the double quotes, consider, comma, value if false, then don't consider. I'll close the bracket. Again, I will double tap there. Again, same thing I'm going to do. Name, filter with this information. It says that okay, for one it says consider, the for the two it says consider, for one what is the use of this either consider or do not consider. Let's take it in this way. Henry race repeated twice, and we are trying to identify how much salary is paid, or probably it could be any other column which needs to provide only once and not twice for the same person. So now, to at least, again I'll go with one easy formula, which is sum if. I want to have a sum range of this, criteria range of this, and I'll take this information and along with this and say I need only consider. I'll close the bracket. Again, I copy paste this information. Now there is no filters here, but to apply that filters I'll just press Ctrl Shift L, Ctrl Shift L twice, or Alt D F F, Alt D F F. There are a number of ways you can do it. In the coming session I know I'm going to teach you that as well. So now if you see that for Henry race we are considering only once, though the sum is 200 rupees here, but we are considering only once because we want to give salary to one person. I mean, once for one person, not twice for the same person. Now, one thing which I usually follow in my corporate world. Now I identified the duplicates. We deal with the data of like in lakhs together rows, and we cannot usually spend lots of time in analyzing. Okay, which is the row that I'll have to keep it, and which is the row that I'll have to delete it. So in this case, again I select this column G. I say do not consider. If I don't want to keep this information, you can just delete the data because even if you delete it you'll see the same information which you wanted. For 100 race, it was just 100 and now again it's the same 100. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z because I don't want to spoil this data. Now, one more thing which I would like to include in this video as well. So now we know that we have 192 records, out of which we need to identify only the unique ones. The simplest way, you copy this column, paste somewhere, press go to data, go to data, sorry, remove duplicates, and then click OK. You know that there are 100 unique records, but you don't want to do this step, but you want to identify how many unique values are there. Then a simple formula unique, this string, I'll close the bracket. It gives me the unique information, but I don't need the unique information, but I want to identify how many unique names are present. So for which I'm going to embed one formula to the unique, which is Countif. So again, I'll close the bracket. You see, here we go. We have 102.